I wanted to read a post that my friend Lisa wrote this morning in my group, the Studying Early Hebrew Christians, on Facebook. So her post says, I would like to share some thoughts with y'all today. When we leave our house, we often take familiar things with us. Keys, purse, jacket, etc. It's the same when we leave a group, a faith, or a religion. We take with us what we have established as truth. Our Bibles, or at least passages, what we have read from books, what we have experienced, what we have heard, etc. I've been on a journey for a while. It's been hard to leave the familiar for uncertainty, yet I carry my familiar with me in the form of truth that has been written in my heart. I'm not the only one on this journey, as many, if not all of you, are on the same path. We have all set out from our spiritual homes in order to see what else is out there. But the perils on this journey are becoming apparent to me. Here are a few things I've jotted down. See if you've experienced the same. Many people are waking up to the fact that truth is written inside of us. The Bible is not the whole truth, as we've been told, as I am certain other Bibles from other faiths are being similarly spiritually exposed. But in essence, the whole truth is being brought forth, even through the lies. You see, without the lies as a contrast to the truth, we can hardly see the truth. It's like seeing what we think is all blue until suddenly there appears red in various shades. Blue, the truth, will pop out in its brilliance. Therefore, the Bible and other religious texts having lies mingled in will help us to see the larger truth. And the larger truth being that the Creator allowed this contrast for our benefit. This age of enlightenment, I think, is a prophecy foretold by many religions. But there's a catch. This journey to enlightenment has many different paths leading to only two places, good or evil, a separation of the goats and sheep, if you will. Goats are those who use the excuse of inheriting lies for their evil conduct, and sheep being those that graze on good pasture and doing righteously by only accepting the good while spitting out the bad. Each are on a path, the goats sometimes even walking side by side with the sheep. You see, we can all see the bad, but it takes love, a deep, abiding, peaceful love, in order to see truth. The goats would rather be angry at the lies than to be reduced to love. There are those that are feasting on knowledge right now. We all have access to all the answers, true and false, in our technology these days. But how do we know the difference? Many will run to and fro from one religion to another, trampling underfoot the truth, because they discover lies mingled into each religion. They run from one faith to another, expecting to find that golden nugget that will explain everything, only to find each faith is riddled with the cancer of lies. So they never see the good in any man made doctrine because they throw the baby out with the bathwater. And yes, there is good in most man-made doctrines. Why? Because nearly all of them exude hope in a better place, time, or situation. But they, the goats, can't see how great this feast of information is because they can't taste the good. So they jump from one religion to another, angrily pointing out the flaws and turning their noses up to those in that faith that are making a nice little meal of what they have found good in that faith. I know many Christians that have found the good in Christianity and are living examples of how love can cover multitude of sins and or mistakes in theology. I am on the path from Christianity, and before you start ridiculing my roots, stop and realize that I'm feasting on the truth that I'm digging out of that faith, simply because I now see the contrast of the lies, and I'm rejoicing in this clarity. Can I look at other man-made doctrines and not get angry at the lies? Yes. But do I dwell on the lies and stop searching for the little tidbits of truth? No. I choose to remain in the Bible and the Nazarene Acts for truth because it is the root to the vine of Christianity. Maybe you think you can insult me by calling me Christian, but I hear that name as anointed ones, not the backbiting, angry, arrogant social clubs that the word has become for this modern age. It's really ironic how many that now criticize Christianity have taken that same arrogance, anger, pride, jealousy, unforgiveness, witchcraft, and idolatry on their path to more knowledge and enlightenment. Funny, ain't it? Not ha-ha funny. My Father has given truth to all, and all faiths. Now there's a revelation for you. But many are walking around angry and arrogant at the fact that they now know that they have been lied to. Angry because some other obscure faith or religion had the truth before they did. Angry because the Hebrews lied to them. Mankind lies, get over it. Stop being angry that you cannot void the truth of the Hebrew faith or its master Yeshua by the lies that men have written. To understand the King of Kings, you must first understand that he is not the only king, but he was the greatest of all. From Wikipedia, in Christianity and Islam, Jesus is the Messiah who is called the Christ, the Savior and Redeemer. Other religions have a messianism-related concept, including the Buddhist Maitreya, the Hindu Kalaki, the Zoroastrian Saoshyant, and he whom God shall make manifest in Babism. So even though I know my Father has sent many messiahs into the world, my friend Yeshua is the leader of all the rest. Yet regardless of who was on top, they all taught the same thing when we remove the lies. I see truth, you see truth, but how is it affecting your spirit? Are you angry, jealous, vengeful, or are you gentle, peaceful, and humble? Being angry at any religion or anyone in that religion because it has lies mingled with it is like being angry with a child that trades a nickel for a dime because the nickel is larger and the child thinks it must be worth more. If we could become like the child, maybe we could see the value in the larger truth. And that is, the Creator wants us to love Him, ourselves, and our neighbor as ourselves. That's it. If we could do that, and only that, we would be feasting on the truth from all of creation. Can you do that? I also replied to it with a comment that I just wanted to read. I do see this everywhere. Thank you so much for putting it together in such a beautiful way. I'm thrilled to go searching after truths everywhere, and I must admit I've gotten upset with those who are focused on finding lies. They've fallen for more lies because they seem to be searching for lies, not truth. What we want to find, we will find. And I do want the truth above all. I did pray to find the truth in 2015. That was the prayer I made. I didn't want to be deceived anymore. I was reading the scripture where Jesus says that we should, pray that we not be, let no man deceive you by any means. And I took that to heart. I was like, if people can deceive us, he's warning us about that, then I want to pray for all truth. I don't want to be deceived. And that was my prayer. There are a lot of goats mingled in with the sheep. A lot of people out there are trying to find the truth, but a lot of people out there are trying to find the lies. And if you're going around looking for lies, trying to pick everything apart, you're going to fall into more lies because that's what you want to find. You want to find lies. You'll lie to yourself to find lies. And it's really, really sad. But what I'm happy about is that there are a bunch of people who are understanding this. They understand that there are Christians who are walking in love, loving one another as themselves. The golden rule, it's found in Christianity. If you want the truth, you'll find it. If you want lies, you'll find that too. That's why I said the book of John is perfect for people, You want to find the Trinity? There it is in John. You want to find out that Jesus has a God? That's there in John. What you want is what you're going to find. So there are Christians who have a heart that loves one another as themselves, even if they think Jesus is God. And there are, other people who say they're looking for the truth, and so they go through all these other religions trying to find a shred of something, and they're like, well, no, this is because of this, and this is because of that, and you end up finding a bunch of lies because that's what you were looking for. And that just leads to the arrogance, the anger, the pride, and all that. The only way we can judge another is by their fruit. By your fruits you shall know them, you know. And I think that's what you can tell. A sheep and the goat. A sheep will take care of one another as themselves, and a goat will not. A goat will do something to somebody else that they wouldn't want done unto them, because they're not a sheep, you know. They're not looking for the ultimate truth. But I'm happy to know that there are people like Lisa here who understands there are Christians who are kind and loving, and we forgive any ignorance because we want ourselves to be forgiven for any ignorance we have. And so I saw a couple of posts today that I just wanted to talk about on Facebook. This feeling of acceptance, I think, is really showing itself among people online today on Facebook. So Matthew Williams posted this: Christians celebrating Easter today, and this is more towards the Hebraic people. Remember, you were probably once one of them. Drop the condemnation and show some compassion. And I shared it and said, Yahweh desires mercy. We know he desires mercy, not sacrifice. From whom does he desire mercy? From you. Don't condemn others and you won't be condemned. And there were a couple of other posts too. Here's one from Brandy Elizabeth. First of all, I want to apologize so many times because of my zeal for the truth. I have reflected the truth poorly. We can call our hard commentary truth and love, or whatever we want to call it, but the truth is that we are all hypocrites who have huge logs which need to be removed from our eyes before setting ourselves on a special media pedestal with tweezers in hand, ready to pluck the specks out of everyone else's eyes. If I would have known a year ago or even 3 years ago what I know now, I would have been spending less time talking and more time studying and trying to live like Yeshua lived. And that's exactly what I aim to do. I aim to study and live like Yeshua the best I can. Sometimes I will share what I've learned or my personal convictions, but in no way do I want to be like that Pharisee in the temple thanking God that I'm not like all those other people, when the truth is that I'm exactly like all those other people and I need his mercy just as bad, if not more so than they do. Have a blessed day. The picture says Confessions of a Former Torah Terrorist. And there was another one here where they said Torah tyrants, referring to those who lord their Torah observance over other people like Christians. So this post says the constant boasting over elementary teachings like Passover being biblical and Easter not being in the Bible is getting annoying. I see why other Christians want nothing to do with Torah, sadly. Please, if you call in this category, refrain from acting superior to others, because if you've read a few chapters in the Bible which talk about biblical holidays, I understand that Passover is new for some of you and you're all excited, and I get that, so I'll let it go this year, but next year will be different. So saying that, you know, there's a lot of people that are just really excited to be celebrating Passover instead of Easter because they feel like they're doing something right and they were doing something wrong previously. And so they kind of get this pride and arrogance in the fact that they are doing it right. And the Christians are so wrong for celebrating Easter. And it's easy for some people to fall into that category. And once again, that's just showing bad fruit. You know, if we want to be forgiven for anything that we've done wrong, then we need to forgive other people and understand where they're coming from. Because we were there too. How can you be angry at somebody doing something when you did it too? You know, we need to be tolerant and merciful, like I said. So anyway, I just wanted to do this quick video because I really liked Lisa's post this morning, and I'm really happy that people are understanding that we should not be bragging that we do certain things when other people don't. It's just not very Christ-like, honestly. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this. Shalom. Chris White once coined the phrase short-term New World Order freakout syndrome to explain what it's like to have your perception of the world shattered. Of course, it's not just about the shape of the world, whether it's flat, round, or something else entirely. This New World Order freakout often includes now saying no to GMOs, fluoride, vaccines, and pharmaceuticals. It's a complete overhaul to your lifestyle. And trying to explain that mainstream media is just propaganda to promote false flags, division, and more can really put a strain on your relationships. Have you gotten tired of being mocked by your own family for what you share? We've all been there. Are you treated like the black sheep because of the commandments you keep? I get it. We're all trying to figure things out together, but sometimes you just have to let your family and friends be. Plant the seed and wait and see. But while you wait for them to catch up, do you wish you had someone to talk with who gets it? That's what Truth or Talk is for. Being able to discuss what's going on in your life and what you're interested in without feeling like you're going to be judged as a crazy conspiracy theorist who should be on drugs or committed. No subject is taboo, and I'd love to hear from you. Simply truthertalk.com. Simply make an appointment and let's talk, Truther.